Hey guys, and welcome to Founders Insights. I'm Morten Otto, founder and owner of a company we call Source Angel. And in today's episodes, I'm going to tell you about our core business, what we call outstaffing, not outsourcing, where we hire dedicated people for our clients to work for them full time. So in this model, it's important to state that in a daily life, we actually don't have a delivery responsibility. It's not up to us to make value from the people working for the clients. That is for the clients to make sure that they send work for their people so that they have something to do so they can bring value for the company. So it's basically like having your own full-time employees in Denmark or in UK or in Germany or in America where we have clients. So on a daily basis, they have a stand-up meeting on a video call together with their employees here in Ukraine sitting in our offices. So of course it's in our interest to make this work and that our people bring value to the clients, because that means that they will keep working with them and over time probably extend their team to even more people. So before I dig into the process of building teams, I want to mention some of the advantages using an outstaffing company in Ukraine. Because if you are looking to set up a team here, working with an outstaffing partner, you don't need to think about having your own office with furniture, with table tennis, with ping pong, with kicker or football or what they call it. You don't need to have a legal entity in Ukraine. You don't need to hire a Ukrainian director for your company. You don't need to have an accountant to take care of your accounting. We send out invoices from our Danish entity. You don't need to think about having a lawyer. We take care of that kind of things. You don't need to have a supply chain for hardware. You don't need to think about recruitment. You don't need to have an office manager. You don't need to worry about retention and events to keep your people happy and content, and also do social events together. And from day one, when you start building a team, maybe you will have a team of 1, 2, 3, 4 people, but they will already have colleagues in our offices working for other clients. But that does not mean that they cannot do social activities together in the office and also do some technical sparring together to grow as professional individuals. So all in all, an outstaffing partner is quite a package that takes care of a lot of issues for you. So that being said, we'll move into what is the process of adding people to your team. So the first step when we meet a new client or get a new client is that we have some calls with them to understand what is it actually they are doing, what is their values in their company, what is their business, and what is it that they cannot find locally that we need to help them find. So typically they will send us a job description for a front-end developer or a back-end developer or a tester or a project manager with some hard skills, what they would like them to know. It could be for backenders, it could be Java, or it could be .NET, C#, or it could be some specific CMS system. For front-enders, it will typically be some kind of frameworks, libraries, JavaScript libraries like React or Angular or Vue.js. And for others, for PMs, it could be what kind of systems that they work with, Jira or whatever project management system that they are normally using in their existing organization. Now we're talking about the client. Because we want to find people that the client can fit into their organization more or less seamlessly. So from these interviews and from the job descriptions, we have a fairly good idea what is the client looking for. And now the first step is for us to start going to the Ukrainian IT market and look for people that fits these descriptions. So for that we have a team we have 2 dedicated recruiters, and then we have me and Henning, who always also helps finding people for our clients. And the process is that when we find people that we think could be interesting, we set up a first interview where they meet with us internally in Source Angel, with our recruiters, and with me or Henning. And from that, we evaluate their tech skills, we evaluate their personal skills, if they fit into our office and into our culture, and also if we test their communication skills in English, because that's typically important, that they communicate well with the clients, because not a lot of clients speaks Russian or Ukrainian as it's their native tongue here. So that's 3 important things: the tech skills, the hard skills, the personal, their personality. Are they funny? Are they shy? Are they joking all the time? Are they being sarcastic all the time? Or are they even interested in working with us? That's also important to test. And finally, their language skills and communication skills. And when we feel we have a match there, then we prepare a resume, and from the interview we had with them, we make a review and we send to the client and say, okay, here we have this guy or this girl, this is the salary range that they are looking for, and this is our feedback based on the interview, and here is the resume from the candidate. Would you like to meet this person? So that was step 1. We have identified candidates and we send them to the client. So now the candidates have been received by the client and they go through them. Typically it will be a technical person from the client side that evaluates the resume together with maybe the team lead to see, does this make sense for us? And we try to set up some time frames where the client can meet the candidate. That will typically be early in the morning or late in the afternoon, because the candidates, they are always in a job right now. So prepare to be up early or up late. That depends on the time zone, of course. So the candidate meets with the client, typically 2 people from the client side, and we can assist from our side. We normally do the interviews from our offices to make sure that all the technical things are working, internet is stable, we have a good camera and a computer that doesn't crash during the interview and so on. And also to keep the candidate a little bit calm. They can sometimes be a little bit nervous. So during the interview, it's important to maybe talk about also some daily life things and so on, so that they can kind of get a rhythm and warm up to answer the more hardcore questions about code or about different frameworks or processes and so on. And hopefully that goes well. And if the client likes our candidate, then they will tell us, that was a good candidate, let's try to hire this person. So now we go to step number 3. We start to negotiate with the candidate. They typically have maybe a few different offers from different companies, and hopefully we have made a good impression together with the client to show that we are a good place to work, stable work environment, good office, good salary, all these things that are important for the candidate to choose their new place to work. And if all goes well, the candidate says yes, and now we are finalizing. So we inform the client that we have the candidate accept our offer, and we are now negotiating the start date of their new employee. That takes typically from 2 to 4 weeks to set that date. So from the candidate accepts, they will typically start within 3 or 4 weeks after that in our office. And now we are at the final stage. We need to understand from the client what kind of specs they have for computers. Should it be a Mac? Should it be a PC? What kind of configuration they want? We normally have a standard configuration for PC with external screen, keyboard, mouse, and so on. that is fit for most development projects. But sometimes they have some specific requirements, then we'll find some options for them and send them a few different choices, and then they choose from that. So we order the hardware, we make sure that they have a desk to arrive at when they have their first day, and now we have a new employee sitting in the office. During the first 2 days, we have some sessions to onboard them, to make sure that the client takes good care of them and puts them into their process of working and send them some work. We feel it's quite important that during the first days that the new employee has some actual work to do to feel welcome in the new company and feel valuable. And yeah, that's basically it. We now have a new client with a new employee, and hopefully this employee will turn out to be a success, and soon the client will want more and grow the team. And organically we grow the team. Our biggest team right now is around 14 or 15 people, I think, working for an American client, and they have been with us for 3 years, and they are super happy, and they are just happy that we can find people that they cannot find locally in Texas. And on top of that, we can even find people for them that are cheaper than they can find in the home market. So that's another advantage of working with Ukraine. Of course, there are some overhead sitting far away. There are some time difference. There are some overhead with communication. But overall, when we put the things together, we bring more value to the client that they can find locally in their own market. And that is what we call outstaffing model. Okay, so that was a little bit about what is outstaffing and what it is we are doing on a daily basis. We also do projects, but that is for another episode. So our core business, it's dedicated team that we build for our clients. And what kind of clients can get use of this model? Well, for me, it could be a company that just need tech people, basically. But it is stronger, in my opinion, if the client has a local tech team that we can extend here in Ukraine, because then we will have a process that on a daily basis, there is a team meeting with people from client side and from Ukraine sitting in our offices. And should there be some misunderstandings, then it's possible for the technical people to sit one-on-one after the call to get rid of these misunderstandings, because technical people, they have a tendency to understand each other in a different way than if it is explained by a project manager. So for me, the strongest setup is really when we make an extended team where we hire extra resources on top of the ones that the client already have in-house, close to the product owner or to the client, or what kind of company setup they have now. So that was the core business of Source Angel, outstaffing, extended team model. And I hope you like this episode, and I hope that maybe you have some questions for me. Leave them, then I'll get back and answer them in future episodes. Give me a like or share it on social media to help me spread these videos. Maybe one day a potential client will see it and reach out to me, or maybe a future candidate will watch this video and see, wow, that sounds like a nice company to work with. So that is why we're building these videos and why we're pushing so much content for the moment. That is to spread out the word, what it is we're doing and what kind of value we can bring. So see you next time.